One that you were very right on was BNB, and you put that out. Has your thoughts on that changed? You talked about their ability to blitzscale at the time. They've continued to scale. I don't think they really ever stop scaling. But what still kind of excites you, I guess, about BNB? And has your opinion changed on them? Is it more altcoin focused that you like that side, or is it that they're now expanding into the margin and competing directly with BitMEX?
Yeah, so we've been super bullish BNB for about 18. I think we entered our position in December of 2018. Excuse me, December of 2018. And I've been holding BNB ever since, and continue to be very happy holders.
Yeah.
Our thesis has not changed at all. What has changed is our conviction in the market and in the finance team's ability to execute on that. And I'd say as the market has matured, our vision for the size of the market has increased in terms of the number of addressable opportunities for Binance. That's becoming more and more clear. So I published a talk I gave at our summit in November of last year about neobanks and about how I think Binance is just perfectly positioned to become like just this massive global neobank. And so I think the market size, my sense is growing. I'm seeing more very unique, directly applicable markets for Binance. The other thing that's really changed has been our conviction in the team's ability to execute. They rolled out derivatives in, I think it was September, perps and futures. And today they're typically the number 2 exchange, 1, 2, or 3 on any given day. They rotate with Wobi and OK.
Yep.
And like that's extremely impressive that they've been able to pull that off so quickly. So that's been like amazing execution. But then the other area that I was extremely impressed by the strategic thinking in has been their just relentless focus on onboarding new fiat on-ramps. Like Binance is by far the most international organization in all of crypto. Like there's not anything that's even close in seconds. Coinbase, for example, is an American company and the vast majority of their users are American. Huobi is the exact same as generally true for China and Huobi, just for like 2 very simple examples.
Yeah.
Binance is, if you just look at their announcements right now, go look at all their fiat pairs. I mean, like they are making it very clear that they aim to be the global crypto exchange. And their ability to figure out how to do banking relationships, local partnerships, whatever, translation, everything that's necessary to make all of this work has been, I think, extremely impressive over the last 12 to 18 months. I think that's largely not borne fruit in terms of like attracting retail in those countries, but they're setting up all of the infrastructure so that when the next wave hits, like they are going to have just by far the most developed rails. And that 18 months ago when we first published our Binance thesis was not clear, although we thought that's what we thought was going to happen. But now that's crystal clear, and there's really not a close second. The other thing that I think I've been extremely impressed with is their thinking around strategy around customer acquisition. And I think the best example of this is the CoinMarketCap acquisition.
Yeah.
I love this acquisition strategically. CoinMarketCap is the homepage of crypto. Like, yes, it has all kinds of problems, but it has, without question, the most traffic of any crypto website, period. And like the people go to crypto, they think about volatile prices. So where do they go? It's CoinMarketCap. It has the dominant SEO, like just far and away dominant SEO. And it has the brand recognition. And so thinking about like building into this, hey, how do you get 1 billion retail users buying crypto and getting into this? Like Binance is being very explicit with the CoinMarketCap acquisition that is the objective and that is the aim.
Yeah.
And I love that just relentless, ambitious focus. And so I think they're playing the game at just a totally different level than everyone else.
Yeah, every single time I talk with CZ, I'm impressed. That CoinMarketCap, people logging in, as you said, to go check volatile prices, and then now they have the chance, if they see that price they like, they can go trade it. So the synergy there is kind of perfect. You did a really good job laying out what they've done well. I'm curious because you do a great job, I think, of being objective with the risks of some of your bets. Is there anything that you don't kind of like about Binance or you think is maybe a big risk to any of your points there?
Yeah, so I mean, the big obvious risk with all of the offshore exchanges is that like they're not super regulated. They have these token things that are maybe securities, maybe not. No one really knows. And then like they have customers from all over the world. Like it being 100% perfect with like FinCEN enforcement and KYC and all that stuff is basically impossible at Binance to scale, and it's extra hard across so many jurisdictions. because just like the documentation and everything in like
It's
countries is
impossible.
so different. Yeah, it's impossible, right? So like by definition, they have kind of like that structural form of risk given the nature of their business. And that is a real risk. And like anytime anyone asks me the question, what's the biggest risk with Binance? I'll always tell you that it's regulatory. That for sure is it. We have gotten pretty comfortable with that risk, in that we've called a lot of big law firms and done all kinds of analysis and been as thorough as I think you can be. I'm unfortunately I'm not in a position where I can share any of those analyses publicly, yeah. But I can tell you we own a lot of BNB, and so that's right. That's a reflection of our net view of the analysis. And what's also very clear is, and CZ is pretty clear about this in his public commentary, is that Binance is a very decentralized organization in all kinds of ways. And it's this way because, in the first 9 months Binance existed, right, like they had to move HQ 4 times or whatever. China banned crypto while they were in China. And like, so they've in a very, very visceral way gone through that experience of like people trying to shut you down. And so it's very core to the DNA of the employees and to the org structure that you need to design the thing in a way that, like, if you're playing whack-a-mole, like you can get hit on the head and be okay.
Yeah.
And that without question is like a core design principle for the staff there.
That story, I think CZ told it on Laura Shin's show, and he talks about when China did ban and they had to kind of leave China and all the steps that went into place to kind of already be set up where they got the next spot. That was just such an insane story.